Hola, hola, my friends. How you guys all doing today? Hope you're all doing well. So, in this episode, we are going to talk about utilities in Mexico. Please give me a comment or a thumbs up if you can hear me okay, my friends. I always wonder about that. That would be super fabulous if you could let me know if the volume's good.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
So I'll just hang on for a few seconds here, guys. We'll see if anybody else hops on. So I'll just hang on for a few seconds here, guys. All right, my friend. So the volume is working. Thank you so much for that. Greatly appreciated. All right, so we'll just let Jennifer take it away here. We're going to talk about the utilities here in Mérida area. We had a subscriber comment not too long ago. Well, I'm not sure if she's a subscriber or just watched a video, but she had stated that one of her family members told her that the utilities were regulated here in Mérida. The utilities are not regulated here in Mérida. So she said she was taking cold showers.
Maybe explain what she meant by regulated.
So she meant that the government only allows you to use so much power or so much gas utilities, and then once you've reached that allotted amount, they turn it off. Well, that's not the case.
No. So I'm thinking that her niece didn't like her very much.
I don't know about that. I don't know, but we won't say that. We'll retract that statement. I'm sure her niece loves her very, very much. She was just trying to save $1, that's all.
Yeah.
So yeah, the government does not regulate utilities here in the Yucatan.
It is operated by the government, though.
Yes.
So no matter where you live in Mexico, you're paying the CFE or CFE. That means Comisión Federal de Electricidad or the Federal Commission of Electricity. So if you go to the next slide for me, dear.
Alrighty.
So here in Mexico, your CFE bill is pretty much your ticket to anything. If you are renting, not if you're renting, sorry. If you're getting a bank account, if you're getting an RFC number, many things. If you're applying for something, they're going to want a copy of your CFE bill. Now, when they say your CFE bill, it's very likely not in your name. Like, we do not have any CFE bills in our name, but the CFE bill will come to the residents. So, and our leases have always been where we will pay our power. And they often, when you move in, they'll read the meters so that they know what the meter was at when you moved in, and they'll only charge you the difference up to the bill. So say somebody had already used 200 kilowatts of power before you moved in, and then they billed you for, I don't know, 500 kilowatts. They're only going to charge you for 300 kilowatts on that bill, and that's typically how they do it. They take pictures, so there's proof. But it's going to come generally in the owner's name. New builds are a little more complicated. I'm not going to get into that too much. Only a little bit as it pertains to us, but and it doesn't matter. So when I open the bank account, I bring them a CFE bill that's in the name of the owner of the place that I'm renting, and they're great. That's fine. It's not my name, but they don't care. To them, it is proof of residence. If you are holding a CFE bill, that's good enough. So, I'm sure, actually, I'm pretty sure Kiru Paul did a video in where he talked to somebody who was off grid. So he doesn't have a CFE bill, but you can't. There's a lot of things you can't get done, so he ended up just borrowing a CFE bill, and that was good enough.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah.
That's all he needed. All the heartache you went through showed up with somebody else's name on it, and good. We're good.
Yeah, it's a little bit funny, like Jen said, the CFE bill is not in your name, but they take that as the holy grail. That's good enough. As long as you have that in your possession.
And you're going to need triplicates of everything. So, and we've mentioned this before in other videos. So,
Lots of people have.
Besides copies of the CFE bill, you're going to need copies of your passport and copies of your residency card, and then copies of your proof of residency. So, the utilities are billed here on a tiered system. So you've got your basic, your intermediate, your excess. So and each of those tiers has a different value. So you can use up to 250 kilowatt hours in the basic. And the price is going to vary somewhat, of course, so I'm not really going to quote any prices. And then the intermediate, you can use up to 200 after the 250 at another price. And then the excess is the balance. And that's at more than double the price of the basic.
Yeah.
And it's really easy to move up in a tier and a lot more difficult to move down in a tier.
I was told it's 3 months to get out of the tier of having a lower utility bill, a power bill, before they drop you down to the next level where your bill will be cheaper. So, yeah, you want to stay below that high tier so you pay less in power. I'm sorry, I'm just saying hi to David. David said he hopped over from Gringos or Us live stream to watch ours.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
I'm assuming theirs just ended. That's awesome. Thank you so much for being here with us, David.
I hope Andrew's doing well.
Different David. No, David.
No, David and Angie.
Yes.
I can see his name. Okay, and then the next point I have is you don't have to have your name on a CFE account to be able to see the bills online. So whenever we've rented a place, I found it much easier to just collect or pay rather the bill online through my banking. But sometimes either the bill won't come to the house because the owner has set it up electronically. And once you set it up to receive it electronically, you'll never get a paper bill again. Or they just stick this paper bill in weird places on the property without, in a chain link fence or something. Well, that thing's gonna blow away.
When we lived in Chicxulub, I would see the CFE guys come, and the property beside us, our neighbors, was an Airbnb, and they would shove the CFE bill in the chain link fence. Well, it would rain and the wind, and next thing you know, that CFE bill is gone, blowing in the wind.
Yeah, you see them littered all over the neighborhood.
Yeah, you see them littered everywhere. Like a lot of the homes that are Airbnbs and whatnot.
And they're empty a lot.
They're empty, that's right. And they come along and they'll just stick it in the crack of a door or in chain link fence or wherever.
Yeah, it's not too secure. Nobody has mailboxes here.
No, there's no mailboxes, no. And there's no mail delivery as well.
Well, the Privadas have mail delivery.
Yeah, they bring it to the gate, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just like the CFE bill. They deliver it to your door, but here they deliver it to the gate. Now, because we were a new build, this house was new, and we had no meter when we moved in, we never got the CFE bill. The CFE bill never arrived. So I'll let Jennifer tell that story.
Okay, so on the next slide, I'm gonna show you a little bit of how to create your own CFE account. Login, I should say. Not you're not having a CFE account, but you're creating a login. Oh, before we get to that, I just want to point out some of the things that you're going to need from your bill This is pretty much what it looks like. It's hopefully not 1,000,000 pesos. And usually it's the name of a person, not the name of a company if you're renting a home. So you're going to need that name as it appears on the bill. Your landlord will give you the bill, no problem, no issue at all. Like I'm sure even if your rent deal includes utilities, I'm sure they'd give you a copy because they know exactly how important this document is. So I really don't see them having an issue giving you a copy, and I've never had an issue getting a copy. So you're going to want the name, and then you're going to want the number de servicio, maybe pointed out with your pointer. This here. Número de servicio is what you're going to need. And then you're going to need total a pagar, the total amount. That's what you're going to need to set up.
Wow, that's a whopper.
Yeah. So, and you can see too on this bill, there's base, intermediate. This says punta. On my bill, it says excedente. Excedente. And I translate that in my head as
Pardon. Cece. The joys of going live with a dog. Okay.
Yeah, so next slide. So yeah,
Okay.
That's what you're going to need from your bill to set up your account. He's under the table.
Oh, come here.
So what I did is I just actually, if you go down here, it's a video. Hit the play.
Okay. Oh, you got a video. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I just Googled CFE, and this is what come up. And then I went over to, or is it not playing? There it goes.
There we go.
So I Googled CFE, and then I went into CFE.mx. And now my computer translates to
Yes, that's
English.
right, David.
So go to mi espacio, or my space in English. And at the bottom there, you can hit ingresar is enter, and then regresar is to register. And then something happened. I went back to this page when I hit register, so I had to go hit my space again. So then you scroll all the way to, yeah, this is where I go back and hit it again.
Oh, okay. Well, she messed up and had to go back and...
Well, I don't know. I clicked it, but it hit me back to the original screen.
Oh, okay.
So now you just create your own user name, make a password, and enter your email, and click off I have read the terms. In Spanish, that will say leo los términos and condiciones, and hit sign up. I believe that's the end of the video on that. So you can go to the next one. I don't think you did that. I think you went to the previous one. Okay, so now there's another video you can hit play on. So now once you're logged in, this is what it's going to look like. But on this page, it's going to show you what accounts you have listed in there. Like you could have more than one, like we did. But to add one, you scroll down to the bottom like I did here and add that service number, or número de servicio, and you add the name as it appears on the bill and the amount of the bill. So you enter those in the bottom there and then hit guardar or save. And that should save it to your MySpace account. And for whatever reason, I am unable to do, you're looking at my page, and I don't currently have any accounts in there for me to look at. And I tried to add this place because when we go through that story, I managed to get my hands on a copy of the bill that we never received. I was able to put in that information, but I cannot add this. And I tried again today and I couldn't do it. So I can't, I can promise you it will work normally, but I don't know if this is because it's a new build or what the problem is, but it won't add it. It goes through the motions, but then he doesn't show up. And he has this account as well, and he can't see the bill either. I talked to him yesterday. That's
The owner
the
she's
owner.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm talking about the owner. He can't see it either. He can. He says he can pay it here, but he can't view it. So I don't know what the issue is. Honestly, I've never had this kind of issue. But so I think that's all the slides I have. Correct? This is the one that we were just on. Yeah, so we must be on the last slide.
Yeah, I would have switched over though, right?
What do you mean switched over?
Anyway, there you go.
Okay.
Areas of growth. So I
yeah.
just wanted to comment. Anyway, I just wanted to comment, David. There, you're right. That actually happened to us. Someone went to the post office, and I think I might have told this story before, but whatever. I'm going to tell you again. And they reached out to us and they said, "Yeah, I seen you guys have mail at the post office in Progresso," and we're like, "We do?" And so she told us the story that, yeah, you go there, they put you in a back room and they give you a big pile of mail to go through and they go, "Here you go find your mail." And as she was flipping through all this mail, she came across our mail and was like, "Yeah, you guys got mail down there." So yeah, that's the deal here anyway. And
Chicxulub has no mail delivery. I have no idea if Progresso does or if everybody just goes to the post office. I just live by the rule, don't mail anything to me. Don't mail anything to me.
yeah,
And in this day and age, it's not hard to turn off paper whatevers. We had to get a bank card or a Visa sent to us from Canada. And I said, I don't know how you're going to do this. I said, I'm happy with a virtual number, like a digital number. But they're like, no, that's not possible. You have to have the card. I don't know how you're going to get it to me. They ended up I can't say the. They ended up using a courier.
Courier. Don't worry, I get that way sometimes too. I can't even talk. Oh my God. And
So-
I'm trying to learn Spanish and I can barely
Yeah.
speak English half the time.
And we did get it with the
Oh,
courier.
heaven forbid.
So, yeah, we got it. We did get the Visa card with the courier. But I said turn off turn off everything that could possibly be mailed to me. I said turn it off. I'm not getting it. We've had people mail us like greeting cards, like Christmas cards, what have you. We never get it.
No.
So I live that by motto. Don't mail me anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the utility bill. We could talk about
Well, I'll talk about our first
power.
experience in Progresso of the power being shut off.
Oh, right.
Yes. It was in the middle of the day. I don't know what you were doing, probably on the internet or whatever. I was working, and then we lost power. And we're like, oh, sucky. Okay, that sucks. I guess, we'll just wait for it. This is Mexico. The power goes out here. We're spending lots of time doing that. And then I don't know how many hours pass, and we realize, you know what? Like, other people on this block have power. So we determined it was just us, and we called our good friend Paul, Torta Paul, and we told him what was happening. And we called the owner and the property manager, and they sent out an electrician to figure out what was wrong, blah, blah, blah. And over the course of many hours, the owner goes, you know what? I don't think I paid the bill. And because the property manager had asked us, did you pay the bill? I'm like, we just moved in. Like, the bill is up to a point where when we weren't living here. So no, we didn't pay it. We don't have a bill to pay. So they figured out that there is no electrical issue. CFE came and turned our power off because of non-payment. So Paul, our good friend, knew somebody who could come out and hotwire the house is what I call it. So you just kind of jumped it because they put these metal pieces in to interrupt the current to your house. So you just kind of jumped it.
Yeah, put in 2 jumper cables
so we
and
paid him.
hijack the power for free,
Yeah. So we
which is common here. It's all legit.
we paid him to do that. I think we paid him 400 or 450 pesos to do that. And then, of course, the property manager.
You while that's getting done, you also take your bill and tape
it's
it.
not paid yet. I haven't got to that point yet.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So the property manager, of course, hurriedly paid it and sent me a copy of the receipt. Paul printed it off for us, and then, as Daryl was saying, you take that receipt and you tape it to the post where your meter is, so that they can see it that it's paid. And they have I think they have up to 36 hours to come and turn your power back on. Anywhere from 24 to 36 hours. And I think it was 24 hours plus a minute when they came back and turned it back on.
Yeah.
But, and that was a whole day wasted of trying to figure out what was going on. And we had no AC, no fans, no nothing, because we had no power. So we pretty much spent that afternoon in the pool with Paul.
Yeah.
Drinking beer so it didn't go warm.
Yeah.
Well, you guys were. I was not. So a few weeks ago, our owner contacted me and said, "Is the CFE bill in?" Because we had gotten the meter installed. I'm going to assume it was in June sometime.
Yeah.
And so from March to June, we had no meter. So then it was finally installed. And he asked me, "Is the bill ready?" And a neighbor here, she said, "Yes, we got ours yesterday or today or whatever it was." So I went to the casita, the guardhouse, where the bills are, and he's looking, he's not finding it, and then he sees they write on the top of the pile that they have from lot 1 to 289, and we're lot 291. So there's 289 empty lot, then us. So he only got up to 289. So I'm like, that's really strange that we didn't get one. So I told the owner, "You know what? We don't have a bill." I said, "Do you have access online or an account number so that I can check it?" And he sent me a number, and it didn't look right to me. It looked to me like his work order number, which did not have his account number on it. How can you have an account number if you don't have a meter, right? So that... So anyways, I was busy, really busy. He sent it to me, but I was really busy at work trying to prepare I was taking a week's vacation going to Vegas. So I never got round to looking it up. I'm hoping that, if I'd had more time, I would have, figured out how to get the account number, like through the meter, or made some inquiries or pushed a little harder, but I never had that opportunity. I was busy with work. Then I went to Vegas. First day back from Vegas, they cut our power. So I never had that opportunity to look into it further. They just they cut it off. And then we weren't getting much help from our property managers trying to solve the problem. So I ran to the guardhouse because CFE was still on the property. We were not the only ones, I'm sure, they cut off. Because I saw them, drive away and stop at another place, and I knew they were still there. So I ran to the guardhouse. I told them, I had our property manager, because she only lives 2 doors down. I had her call the guardhouse and tell them not to leave. And she called them. I don't know what she said to them. But I talked to the guardhouse, and they're like, "You didn't pay it, so that's why you lost power." And I'm like, "I didn't have a bill to pay, so how can I pay it?" And then, so they determined I should go talk to the property manager of the whole Pravada. And thankfully, she was a great big help. In the meantime, so I'm running to the over to the guardhouse. Daryl's contacting Paul again to try and get our power back, to hijacked, whatever. So he set that up. 650 pesos this time, but whatever. When you're in the middle of work and you got to get stuff done, pay whatever to get the power back.
Yeah, when it's 35 above out too, and you have no air conditioning, and you got the window here on the other side, it's like we're in a greenhouse. So.
Yeah. So Sarah, she came, looked at our meter. She called CFE, which I would never be able to do. My Spanish is not good enough to deal with these sort of things. So she called CFE. She gave them the meter number, and through that they gave her the service number, the account number. But we were having troubles with the name. So I kept telling her, this is the name. I don't know if it's in any other name. And nobody was answering. The owner wasn't answering us. The property manager wasn't answering us. So I'm like, I don't know. But somehow she figured out that the names got reversed. So he put his last name first and his first name last. And she figured that out and got a copy of the bill somehow. I don't know how, because like I say, I tried to set it up. But whatever. She got a copy of the bill. She goes, do you want me to pay it? And you can just pay me. I said, 100%. Please just pay it. It'll be a much quicker. So she did, and then I just paid her cash for it. And she gave me the receipt, which I posted on the post. And then CFE was here less than 24 hours later, because they came during the day. No, they were here at night. So it was more than 24 hours. Yeah, it was more than 24 hours. But anyways, so that's the process. If you've got a work order, so say there's something wrong with your meter, or you don't have a meter because it's a brand new build, you got to post in really big letters the work order number, or they'll just come and cut you off because they figure you're stealing power. So when this sort of thing happens and you're cut off because of no payment, post this on your meter. I use lots of tape so that the weather doesn't affect it. So yeah, that's what to do when power is cut off, and we've had to do that twice now. And thankfully we've had some really good friends to help us out when that does happen, because I mean, I would be in tears if I had to try and call CFE and find out why I had no power. I just don't have that kind of Spanish knowledge. And when you're stressed like that too, like when you to have a lighthearted conversation with a friend or a new acquaintance is one thing, but when you're trying to get something done, that's something completely different. You have too much anxiety to think of the words that you need. So do you want to add anything to that experience?
Yeah. Did you say, so you taped the bill onto the meter?
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, no, that's about it. In Progresso, what had happened was the owner had never paid the bill. He was out of town and probably just forgot or whatever, right? Honest mistake. And we didn't realize that the power was turned off. We thought the power had just gone out, because it's common here for the power to go out. And it was quite a few hours had gone by before we realized that the power was disconnected. It was a little while anyway. So no, that's really about it. That's all I want to say about that. We can talk about, you want to go with the gas or you want to go with the water? What do you think?
Water.
Water. All right. We'll talk about the water then. I think I even have a little water video here. So the water is a little bit different here. The way they have it set up, I'm sure everybody's seen, or a few people have anyway, have definitely seen, they have a holding tank in the ground, and then they have the Tanaka on the roof, which is just another holding tank. And the city water or town water, whichever, fills up your holding tank in the ground, and then from that, it gets pumped up onto your roof, And then from that, it's gravity fed to your faucets, your shower, unless you have a water pump, which most places don't. Most of them are gravity fed, so that's how the system works here. The only pump there is to pump it from the holding tank in the ground to the roof, and then gravity fed down to wherever it's going. So that's kind of how that's set up. And I think I might, Jennifer, you want to talk about that just a little bit? I might have,
I guess Cece's got something to say about it.
yeah, Cece's got lots to say, no doubt. Yeah. Yeah, Cece's always got lots to say.
I don't know much. I don't know what to talk about the water. It's
Yeah.
not a given that you're going to have a hot water tank. I can tell you that.
No.
Who thinks to, when you're renting a house, to ask if it has hot water? I mean, that's just, they don't do that where we're from. So,
No.
but here they do.
Yeah, no, they don't. No, there is no,
Mm-hmm.
very few places have hot water tanks, that's for sure. Very, very few.
Yeah, I don't know much about the water system, and I know that the things on the roof are called Tanakas, and if you're driving down the highway to South, for example, or other places, you just see a sea of Tanakas on the roof.
Yeah.
All the houses lined up, Tanaka, Tanaka, Tanaka. You
That's right.
even see it out here. The other Pravada has all the houses are the same. They're, what do you call them? Row houses. What are those called? Townhouses. They're all the same, so it's just a row of Tanakas. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, I was trying to bring up this picture that I had found online. I don't know how well it's going to be displayed on here, but we'll see. So yeah, there you go. That's what I wanted to bring you guys.
It's a little small, but it works.
Yeah, it's a little tiny, but it works. You can make it out in the picture. You can always zoom in on it too as well. So we'll leave it up there for a minute. So here you have your holding tank at the bottom, and then obviously where we were in Chicxulub, yeah, the holding tank was in the carport under the garage, and it was just a cement holding tank. And then yeah, and it pumped it up to the roof, and that would be your Tanaka on the roof, and then that would be your gravity fed going down to wherever, whichever tap it's being used. So here we do have a pump. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that.
I think any Pravada is going to have a pump because all the Pravadas are new in this area.
Yeah,
I don't know about all of Mexico.
We've lived in 2 Pravadas now since we've been here, and both Pravadas had water pumps. So yes, I'm assuming all the Pravadas will have water pumps for sure because they're all new builds. So, and then they're high end. So yeah, they've got the water pumps. The 2 that we've been in anyway, that's for sure.
I think it's probably rare at the beach.
Yeah, RV size, absolutely. Yeah, that's the way ours were too. Every one that we've had, except for here. This house here, they have a normal size. Well, no, not quite normal, but it's a bigger one. It's not a little wee RV one. And also, I've seen a lot of places have hot water on demand. That's quite common here. So there's no hot water tank, right?
And
So-
some of them have had that set up where if you hit the shower head, you get a shock. Like you
Yeah,
have
well,
to
that's
turn on
that's the hot water on
yeah.
demand. Yeah. Yeah.
a more rudimentary version of it. Yes, the probably,
Yeah, we were in an Airbnb
because I don't
that
think the
had that.
new hot water on demand is like that.
But yeah, very common for them to have the little tiny RV size hot water tanks for sure. And I think here as well, with all the mineral in the water, that you're replacing your hot water tank every few years if you're not getting it flushed out and maintained. Like it would require more maintenance here than definitely back home in Canada because of all the minerals in the water, right? Like there's way more minerals here, way more. Like back home, the water is purified and gone through purification and, chlorine and everything else, where here it's not. And it's that's why you'll notice your all your faucets and your taps, they get clogged up and everything. So your hot water tank would be the same way. And I know the landlord we had in Chicxulub, she stated that she replaced hot water tank once already. So another thing to think of if you're going to be buying a home here as well, right? Or building a home.
Yeah.
So
an electric tank is going to add a lot more to your utility bill.
yes, and we were also told that the power is more. They charge more at the beach than here in town.
I think where we are, they probably charge more because Jessica says she doesn't pay that much.
No,
They're not in Mérida either. They're in Caucal.
Yeah, we had another whopper of a power bill here. It was 9,000 pesos. 9,000 pesos. But they added on 1,000 pesos for the months that we never had a meter. So we were 4 months without a meter, right? So
I'm not arguing about the rate at all.
No, I mean 1,000 pesos for 3 months or whatever it was without a meter.
Even the 9,000 because we were so many months without a meter. We got free power for a lot of months.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. They need cleaning. Yeah, definitely, they need cleaning for sure. But how many people are cleaning them? Right? So yeah, beach rates are higher. That's what we were told as well. But I can't speak.
This is the highest bill we've ever had.
This is the highest bill we've ever had. Yeah, and the air conditioners are brand new. But we were here over summer as well, so that was summer months. So, but the power is expensive here. It definitely is. The power is more money here than back home. But we had central air back home, and we didn't have bills like what we've had here, and we have way more appliances back home.
But we only use central air 2 months of the year.
Yeah, but still, we still had way more appliances. You're running a dryer,
Yes, this is true.
Furnace,
Yes, you're right.
Yeah, no, the power is definitely more money here. Definitely more money for the power. The power is not cheaper here. I don't think so anyway. I don't know about the USA, but it's definitely more money. But back home, we also have natural gas that's piped into your house, right? You don't have natural gas here. You have a holding tank with propane. Now, I heard there is natural gas in some of the states, but it's also in a holding tank. It's not piped into the house. It's in a holding tank. So we'll find out more as we travel around. So, yeah. I just seen David was just saying all it took was one look inside the Tanaka and he had it cleaned. Yeah, well, you're showering with that, right? And doing your dishes, and I wash the vegetables with it as well. I mean,
depending on the source. We have potable water here. Progresso had potable water, but not all places. Like anybody on a well, I would not be washing your vegetables with the well water.
No, not with the well water. No, the well water is for the pool. So.
Okay, had well water, and that was completely different than right across the street from her. We lived, and the city water was completely different than her well water. And I could feel it in my hair. It was awful. So
yeah,
I don't think you want your. It depends where you are. I don't know. Just do what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, I guess so. Yep. Okay, well, I think we've beat water to death. We can go on to the gas here. So we can get rid of this. So the gas is propane. I've only seen propane, and again, like I said, I have seen online that they do talk about there being natural gas, but I've yet to experience that. So, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, put pool pucks. That's actually a great idea, David, for sure. Put some chlorine in there. Yeah, absolutely. That's a brilliant idea. Yeah, like say you're not drinking it. Well, back home we're drinking chlorine in the water anyway, so here obviously we don't. We drink bottled water, but yeah, no, that's a great idea to put. But you are showering with it, so that's another thing. But chlorine or a dirty, yeah,
There's enough minerals in it. Adding a little chlorine, I don't know. I guess it go a little more blonde.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, you can get chlorine poisoning though. There is such a thing as chlorine
Yeah,
poisoning.
I'm pretty sensitive to it. I clean too much with bleach.
Yeah, there was a YouTuber I just watched. I can't think of his name right now. From Europe somewhere. I follow him once in a while. When I get time, I watch the odd video of his. But he got chlorine poisoning in Cancun. So it is a thing, and he got really sick from it. So and the chlorine will go into your pores, your skin, and so yeah, I don't know if you would from just having a puck inside your.
Yeah.
It was from the pool. He got chlorine from the pool, so they had way too much
Oh,
chlorine.
right, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
No, I can't either.
No.
But yeah,
Anyway,
but once
so
you get chlorine poisoning, you're highly sensitive to it from here on out. He'll probably never be able to go into a swimming pool
yeah,
again.
I do like that idea though. I do like that idea. So yeah, not too much exactly. Everything in moderation, right? Just like food, everything. M&Ms, Coke. So okay, so gas. We can talk about the gas. I don't know. What do you want to say about the gas, babe?
Um, let's see. Our experience are the stove slash oven are typically gas, but again, it's just like a propane tank on the side. And when we say gas, we do mean propane. Um, it's a some of them are outside the house, and the line goes in, through the wall. Some of them are right in the house, right beside the stove. So, and I want to say that there's no standard here like back home. I don't know about the U.S., but in Canada, if it was a certain um, there was completely regulated, and it had a tag of the date that it was created and whatnot. And if it was, I want to say every 3 years you had to replace it in Canada. Doesn't matter. After X amount of years, you had to replace your tank. You had no problem or no choice in the matter. They don't have that kind of regulation here. So a lot of these tanks are in the sorriest state you can imagine, and they leak. So the house in Chicxulub, we had to turn off there was one for the stove, which didn't seem to have a problem, and one for the hot water tank that we had to constantly turn off and on. Because we would go through gas way too fast if we didn't turn it on, if off, I mean.
Yeah.
So there's that, and they're not our tanks, so I don't know. And they were the great big, whatever pound tanks.
40 pounders.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the one tank did leak though. I'm almost positive it was leaking because
100% it was, because
yeah, it definitely leaked.
If we left it on, it took 3 weeks to fill again. If we kept turning it off, it was 2 months to fill it.
Yeah.
So it was a bad leak.
Yeah, but even the one time we had a tank, they gave us an old one, and we always turned it off when we weren't using it. Like when we weren't having a shower or whatever, we turned the propane off, and it had still leaked. So I think it was either the fitting or whatever.
Yeah,
there was that one tank that was really rusty.
Yeah, so we called the landlord and made her make them bring back the old tank.
Yeah. So I think that's
we used a couple of different ones. So I think that guy was, I want to say.
Yeah, it's the same back in Canada. The propane's in tanks and the natural gas is piped in. All the homes in Canada have natural gas, unless you're out in the country, out on the farm. Then you got big propane tanks, like industrial size ones, right? So that's what we had out on our farm. Was I don't know how big they are, what the pounds is, but they're industrial size.
The only thing on gas
lasts for 6 months.
The only thing on gas in this house is the stove. We filled it once, and I think we figured out between the owners and us it lasted about 6 months. I think
yeah,
what we estimated.
That's right. Yeah, the hot water tank's electric. Just the stove and the oven that doesn't work is electric. That's it. Yeah. So anyway, we're looking at this is Progresso, guys. There's the pier in Progresso. I found this video here. It's kind of cool. The longest pier in the world. So that's it for gas then. That's it for gas.
That's all. You didn't really say anything about gas.
Well, what do you say? The gas is, we did talk about it a little bit.
Well, I did.
It's in a tank and you get it delivered. It's,
I think you researched natural gas a little bit, and
I did find it in a few states.
my understanding is that Jalapa has natural gas. I don't know. Is that cheaper than propane? I have no idea.
You know what? I think no, not natural gas is yes. Natural gas is cheaper than propane. Yes, for sure, 100%. 100%. Natural gas is cheaper than propane.
Yeah, we're looking forward to saving money in many ways.
Yeah.
Moving on from the gold rush area that we're in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yucatan is beautiful and offers a lot, but we have itchy feet. We have had itchy feet since we moved into this house. We were ready to go when we were done in Chicxulub, and kind of squealed on the brakes to help out our friends here and save on some rent. So we still have some itchy feet.
Yeah. So you're either going to get your natural gas delivered like this gentleman here going around with tanks, and he's going to swap out your tank for another tank.
The one company, that's what I was saying. So there's the one company does that, and I want to say that was Z Gas.
Yeah, and they also have a truck that'll.
So I like the Maya Gas guys to come, because the Z Gas guy, he would take your propane, no matter how much was in it or not in it, he would take it away and bring it back. And it was 550 pesos every time.
That's right.
Whereas Maya Gas would fill it right there by weight, so it was always cheaper, always.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cheaper to go with the.
But they
the
weren't
truck.
as quick as the other guy.
No, and some because they were more sought after, right? So supply and demand. You had to wait.
They were usually the next day, but sometimes we needed it the same day.
Yeah, I think I had a. Oh, where did that go to? I thought I did have. Anyway, don't matter. I don't have it. I don't know where it went to.
And I liked Maya Gas because I could order them through WhatsApp, whereas the landlord would have to call Z Gas because he didn't have WhatsApp. That was annoying.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like WhatsApp.
No, it's nice having that for sure because it just makes it a lot more convenient to get stuff done for sure. Absolutely, and then you can just take care of it yourself, right? So it just makes it a lot nicer. So I did have a picture of that propane truck, but anyway, everybody knows what a propane truck looks like. So you can either have them delivered or you can have a propane truck bring it, which is what I think is a cheaper route as well because they're just filling up with whatever you've used, so replacing what you've used. So I think that's definitely a lot better, 100%.
Yeah, because we started filling it before it ran out so that we would not run out.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
just estimate, okay, it's been about a month and a half, let's fill it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is a good time to tell you guys, if you're watching this video and you have not yet subscribed, please do so. We'd greatly appreciate it. We've been rambling on here for almost an hour here, so we're going to wrap her up pretty quickly here, guys. If you like our content and you want to see more of it, be sure to subscribe. That way you'll be notified when we upload our next video and when we go live. And we are going to go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. same time, and then every Saturday as well, Saturday or Sunday from a location other than home. So that's kind of been our routine for the last little while, and we're going to stick to that. We want to stick to a routine here. So Wednesday will always be live, Saturday will be live somewhere else, another location. That's kind of our plan. So I think that's really about it, eh, babe?
Yes, thank you so much
Yeah,
for hanging in there with us and for interacting. This is that makes it easier to do this is when you interact with us, other than us just staring at a screen and and wondering, is anybody out there? I mean, we can see there's people out there, but we really appreciate the interaction.
Yeah, and I'm very happy the GoPro held up the whole time. We're not froze up, so that's kind of nice. The last few lives we've done, the GoPro froze up, so I don't know if it's because I got the air conditioners blowing on it. So yeah, we're both kind of chilly actually with the AC blowing here, so it's good. The GoPro worked great, awesome. Happy for that, and the sound is good, so we're good there. So again, thank you so much, guys, for being here with us today. We're gonna sign off now. Hasta luego. Peace out. God bless everybody out there. Stay safe, and please be kind to one another as always.